What is going on, boys and girls? The weather has finally turned. We're cooking. So, got me a tri-tip out, got a thawed out, and we are going to throw some smoke at it, sear it off, and make some good ass tacos with it. So, that's what's going on today. Um, I, in the interim of moving, still short on a lot of my spice selection, all this other stuff. So, I haven't been making my own as much anymore. But I've come across a killer combo, I guess you would say. Gone against everything I've ever really said. I'm not one for um, jarred spices, pre-made spices, and I'm sure in the hell not ever one for layering them. But I just happened upon them by accident, and it was a one night thing. I was making some steaks, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw some of this on there, or toss some of this on there, and it's primo, man. So especially on beef. So what we're using, this right here is, they call it Andy's seasoning salt. It's just MSG. Some other stuff in it. There's some other spices in it, but it's MSG, man. So it is, flavor meth. And then this right here is one of my favorites on beef. It's Hardcore's meat chilada. So good, man. Fantastic stuff. But since we're going the taco route, I figure we are going to mix in some hardcore Tex-Mex on it as well. So I know if you've been around the channel a while, you know this is not my thing, but I'm telling you, it's a killer beef combo. Speaking of the Andes and the meat chilada, but the Tex-Mex there's some citrus in it, there's some stuff like that. It really kind of takes it to, that taco side of things. So I'm going to toss it on there too. But anyway, let's get this thing prepped up. Oh, my island's a lot bigger than it used to be, so I need to walk around. But let's get her prepped up, and we're going to get her going. Still haven't picked up any wood yet. Haven't found a wood guy just yet that makes it out here, so I'm going to be using the CookShack. Ideally, I would be using the Santa Maria and the pizza oven. You'll see why I would be using the oven later. Because, like I said, what we're going to do is we're just going to throw some smoke at it. If I was using the oven, I would just light a fire in it and pretty much just roast it off, and probably toss it over some coals just to finish it up. If I was doing my standard tri-tip, which you guys seen a million times, it's straight up on the Santa Maria. So that's what this chunk of meat is made for, but it's good anyway. Um, so tri-tip, I know you guys know this, but for anybody that hasn't, it's tricky to cut. So the best way to just eliminate that problem visually, look at the grain before you season it, before you cook it, before you rub it, then you know. This one here, a little bit of an odd shape, but I picked it that way because I like these kind, because I was actually going to make tri-tip steaks out of this. So as you can see, all these, my grain runs directly across like this. So if I go on this side over here and cut in, I'm always cutting against the grain. So just mental note it, I don't know. If you feel like you can't remember, take a picture of it, whatever. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do for this guy. We're going to prepare for surgery here. We're going to glove up. And duck fat. I'm going to just take some of this, and I am just going to give it a little coat. And we are just going to rub this along there. Gives it a nice coat. Adds a ton of richness. It's duck fat, man. It's fantastic. So that is all we're going to do. A little bit right in your hand. And just give her a little love. So we'll hit this side first. I'm going to hit it with this Andes first. Very little of this stuff. This stuff is, like I said, MSG. So it comes out swinging, man, and it can get seriously strong. So very light coat of this. This really, it just helps break down the meat. It adds a nice flavor. There's also a little bit of smokiness to it, which is what I liked when I didn't have a chance to actually use my grills. And then I'm going to hit it with some of the meat chilada. This stuff actually has a beautiful color too. Great stuff. Seriously, great stuff. And you know, I'm not sponsored. I didn't get it for free. I get it at Academy. And this I haven't tried yet with this combo, but I'm just going to assume it's going to be good. So, and I'm going to go easy on this stuff too. This just is going to take it just to that taco side a little bit, you know? Not going to cake it, not going to get too heavy on it. Just going to make it do what it's supposed to do and stay on there. And we're going to flip this guy over. And again, I probably shouldn't do that. But I'll just glove some out. Beautiful. And give her a little coat. Spread it around. The only thing I would say you don't really have to really worry about using duck fat on something that you're, going low and slow, stuff like that. But just take note that duck fat's flash point, its smoke point, I believe is like right around 350, 370 or something like that. So it can burn quite easily. And believe me, I've experienced it. When you take it past that point, it's nasty. It gets super bitter. And it'll ruin your day. It's hard as hell to do with my left hand. My left hand's there just to help my right hand. It doesn't get a whole lot of attention. All right. So that's it. Now I am just going to let this guy chill and hang out while we go fire up the CookShack. Let's do it. All right. So this guy here, I'm going to go around 275 here today. It's tri-tip. It's not a chuck roast. It's not a brisket. So we just flip the switch. It goes back to what it was previously set at. And I was using it at 255 apparently. So I'm going to go to 275 and let her go. Is it clean? Yeah, it's clean enough. So I'm going to let this get up to temp. Let the tri-tip just kind of warm up a little bit. Let everything kind of soak in. Let that MSG do its job. And that's it. We'll throw it on there. We'll throw some smoke at it for a little bit. Maybe take it to around, I don't know, 110, something. And then we'll bump the heat up. And we use the char broiler and get a nice sear. Just get a nice, intensify that flavor, man. Get a nice coat on the outside of that thing. And then we're going to slice it up. We're going to do, I'm doing a hard shell with a layer of some nacho cheese, which I'm going to go up there and make right now. Cheese sauce, along with, the soft outer layer. And we're going to throw some tri-tip in there. We're going to toss some pico in there, some arugula in there, some guac in there. What the hell else are we putting in there, guys? Some chipotle cheddar tortilla strips, fried up. And I think that's about it. I don't know. We'll see what else. Maybe something else come to my mind, and they'll be like, that'll be good in there. We're going to eat that. So, and then we're going to put them in the holder, and we're going to throw them back on the grill um, while the tri-tip is cooking. Skipped a step. Sorry about that. We're going to throw them on there and just get the outside of the shells done. Just kind of throw some smoke at them. Heat up that raw tortilla a little bit, and then we'll assemble, and we're going to be eating some good shit. So that's it. All right. So we're heated up. We are ready to go. Sit down here. Get you right anyway. All right. Going over here. Rolling. Gonna take this big boy. Look at all that. How she's soaked in there nicely. We're just going to drop her there in the center. Now, this thing is a top-down kind of cook. It actually heats from here, throws the smoke up, goes above, and then goes down. And the stack actually exits about 6 inches below the grate. So it goes up and down through the meat. So if you had a fat cap, you would put the fat cap on the top because you don't have to worry about it, you know, deflecting any heat. There's no heat underneath it. There's no substantial heat underneath it. So that's another thing that I actually really do enjoy about this. Um, by doing that, I find that smoke penetrates super nicely. I mean, there's really no place for the smoke to go other than past that meat, no matter what. It's going down through it. Enough said. That's the way it is. So, and then it comes up and exits out the stack. But I just noticed that by the top down, you get such anytime I do any type of a roast type thing or anything like that, a chicken, anything, it builds such a beautiful color and such a nice crust and bark, and it's it's very, I don't know, I like it. Let's put it that way. I like it a lot. So I'm just gonna let this go for a little bit. Um, I don't know. It just depends on how cool the meat got or how warm the meat got in the center. It's only been about 20 minutes. I was kind of messing around. So it might take a little bit longer. So I'm going to let her go for about an hour or so. I'll come out. I'll check it out. Like I said, I want to take it to about 110, 115, something like that. There's going to be, since we're hitting it with some high heat at the end, even though we did low and slow it, almost reverse sear, um, there's still going to be some residual cook at the end. So I don't want to take it too far. I used to take if I did reverse sears or anything like that, I would usually take them to, 115, 120. But when I want to build a nice crust on the outside, sometimes it takes a little bit, and it ends up taking your meat over. It's like, all right, oh, this is perfect. You pull it, beautiful. It's sitting at 130, which is what I like my tri-tips at. And I don't ever want it to finish above the 135 mark. A nice medium rare on a tri-tip, to me, of course, is, as always, personal preference. You do you. Um, is around that, 135. That's it, man. I don't want it to go any more of that. So usually gain around three. It's not going to be a heavy one, but around 3-4 degrees on the residual cook afterwards as you let it rest. So I'd like to take it to like 110. I'd rather have that extra time building that crust and that char on the outside when I'm searing it at the end or grilling it at the end or whatever I do with the piece of meat that I'm cooking. I'd rather have that freedom than take it too far into the smoke. You know, that extra 5 degrees of smoke isn't going to change the flavor of the meat at all. I mean, you're still going to get there. I don't want my tri-tip all smoky. I don't want it like that. I just want to know it's been there. I want to taste that smoke. I want that flavor in there. So that's typically about what I've been doing. 110. If I get busy, she slips past the 115 mark. Whatever. So be it. I just take note of that when I'm charbroiling it or grilling it off at the end. So, but I'm gonna let this go. We'll come out and check it, see what we got. All right, guys. So while the tri-tip is out there doing its thing, I'm going to prep our cheesy crunch shells. This is probably completely unnecessary to actually show this on video, but why not? This is what we're making. This is what we'll do. So, can you see me? Yeah, sure. So, got this little fancy boy at Walmart. What I'm going to do, I got my cheese sauce. I've done my cheese sauce quite a few times in a lot of videos. So this was already made from some stuff I was doing the other night, some dinner. It's essentially just heavy cream, little Velveeta. You got to have Velveeta in there. A little mild cheddar, no, medium cheddar. And in here I have some like some aged white. Just adds a little, little saltiness, nuttiness to it. And then there's a little Gruyere in here too. That adds just a little funk. But you can do whatever you want. You can use Cheese Whiz. It doesn't matter. You do you, man. So I'm just going to take tortilla here. I'm going to go down like so. And we are just going to take some of this and just do a spread. Just give her a coat. Nothing crazy. It's more so like a delicious glue. Like I said, this is probably pretty self-explanatory, but there's one thing that I found making these that is very helpful and very necessary if I would have been prepared. 1 second. And that, my friends, is me not being prepared. So, I like to add a little bit of shredded cheese. I am using just a quesadilla cheese, nice Mexican style melting cheese, man. It's super good, got a nice flavor to it, and not much. But this just gives you that that cheese stringiness a little bit through the outside, as opposed to just how nacho cheese is. Not much at all. Actually, I should probably bring you guys in just a little bit closer so you can see what the hell I'm doing. Hey. Sorry, that's as close as you're going to get. I'll get the camera angles worked out. This is, oh, damn. This is the first video that I've done at the new crib, man. So, wow, man, it's been a minute, hasn't it, guys? Sorry about that. So this is what I got going on. See, not much, but some. And then we're just going to take a shell. And these are 8-inch tortillas. Now, if you can find the smaller ones, the street taco size, man, they work so much better. But I couldn't, so we are just going to have that crunch shell in the side. So I'm going to bring her down about an inch or so. It's about the balance, just looking for that center right here. And then we are just going to flip this guy up. And we're going on big taco here. And we are just going to press them in. And make sure they're, as even as possible. Not that big of a deal. And we're just going to drop them in the holder there. Just like that. So I'm going to bang these out. I'm going to let these sit. And like I said, once we move the tri-tip over to the char griller side, we're going to throw these on there, get everything all nice, melt that cheese all together, let everything just kind of glue together and just be ready to go. So I think having the 8-inch tortillas with the shells is actually going to be kind of nice because you can fill them a little bit more for one. So you can make yourself a big boy taco. And you'll have that soft taco shell on the outside. But then when you come in about an inch or so, you're going to hit that little crunch. And plus, we're going to be adding some crunch with these awesome tortilla strips that I found. They're made by the Texas Toast brand. They're a Chipotle cheddar. Oh, man, they're like Doritos on crack, man. They're super, super good. Thin little strips. So we're going to throw those in there. So, but I'm going to get the rest of these banged out. And we're just going to let them hang while the tri-tip cooks. All right, guys, here we are. Let's check it out. See over here, something like that. Oh man, it's looking pretty. Come right in down the side of this bad boy. That was a register there. Give her one more. She is ready, guys. She is ready. All right, so I'm going to grab my pan. I honestly didn't think it was going to be ready. So I'm going to grab my pan, and then we're going to pump this guy up, get to some searing temps, and move it on over. All right. Use tongs, guys. I left them in the house. I'm just going to grab this thing off. I got a bunch of stuff going on, making saffron rice and all sorts of other stuff, refried beans. So, how bad can it be, right? There we go. Check that thing out. Oh, she's pretty. She's pretty. All right. I'm going to bring this guy. Just going to give her a light cover. Nothing crazy. Just wrap up the edges a little. It's only 60 something out, so I will bring that in while I heat this thing up. But we are going to just pump this guy up. And let's take her like to 4. All right, so I'm going to let her get up. And then we're going to throw it on the charbroil side. Get a nice sear on that guy. Bring in some of that charbroil flavor. And we will throw our taco shells over here. Get them all melty, toasty, smoky, all that other good stuff. Actually, I forgot. I don't use this enough. We have the warming jar. So I'm actually just going to drop this whole thing right on in here. Let it soak up some smoke and let her stay warm. Let it rest a little bit. And then we'll get busy. All right, guys. We are back. She's at temp. Gonna pull this guy out. Don't have as much time on the charbroil side because it did get to like 115, 116. So, but hey, what can you do, man? All right. So we're ripping. You guys see in there? Let's get you over here. And I'll give that a quick brush. That ash off of it anyway. All right. Just like so. Put this guy up here. It'll keep it nice and hot. And then we're going to take our shells, keep them away from that. Just put them over here. And I'll close this guy. So, all right. I'm just going to sear this guy up. Let it go for about a minute or so on one side. Flip it over. Minute, 30 seconds. Just depends on how hot it is. That way, get that nice even cook all the way through it. Even though it's pretty much there anyway. It doesn't make that much of a difference. But just just how I like to do it. So, I'm just going to get this seared up. It's going to be good, guys. If you can smell it. The smell. I'm going to have to get a bigger fence, man. The neighbors are going to want to be creeping. All right, I'm going to let this go for a minute. I'll bring it back when I pull it off. All right, guys. So there she is. She's looking mighty fine. Let's see what we're looking at now. Oh, man, we got the fat part. I can still get some more sear out of her. These ends are getting there. But that thick spot, man, she got some degrees to go. So a lot of that's going to carry on the rest, but it'll be all right. It's going to be all right. Look at that. Come on, man. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. All right. All right, well, in that case, I am going to close the door for a second in between my flips. That way I have some concentrated heat as well as the searing heat. We should gain those 6-7 degrees that we're short, like that. All right, guys. See? Very little bounce on there. I think we're good, man. I think we're good. Man, got ourselves a nice char on that. Oh, yeah, look at that. 132, 129 right there. Perfect. That's what we're talking about. Let's take this beauty off. Oh, man, look at that. How beautiful it is. All right. So I am going to kill him, and I'm going to let my shells and cheese just sit in there, let it take some of that heat, finish melting, all that other good stuff. So I'm going to give this just a light foil wrap. We're going to let it rest for about 5 minutes while I get everything else prepped. All right, here we go. We remember, goes right across like that. So that's how we're going to slice this guy. I'm going to slice it nice and thin. Going to get right on in there. Oh, first we got to check this out. Look at that. Oh, how beautiful that is. Woo-hoo. That's what I'm talking about. Damn. So I'll build one just for the sake of time. Nice and thin here. These little butt ends. Save those. All right. So we got these. I'm just going to take them. Just shorten them. Just like so. Now, let's bring one of these guys up here. And let's build this one in the middle here. That'd be the easiest one to do. Meat. Be generous. It's a big boy taco. A little lime. Little pico. Little baby arugula. And a little more shred. Throw some avocado on there. And a little cream, huh? Come on. Look at that. That's a good taco. My wife is giving me the I'm ready to eat stare. So, but other than that, that's it. That's all I got.